Hi winners, look, welcome to Terry's Tips. Guys, I'm excited about this video. Get a notebook, get a pen. This is the video you want to watch all the way until the end because it can literally equal $1,000 to $100,000 plus a free money for your business. So guys, specifically in this video, I'm going to go over what is a business grant, who can apply for grants, the different types of grants, some of the documentation needed for grants, and I'm even going to give you some resources, some websites to help you find the money that you need and get through the process. And I'll do my nugget at the end. Okay, so first, what is a business grant? Literally, it is free money for your business to help your business grow that you do not have to pay back. It's money for your business without you getting into debt. That's it. It's not a loan. It's not working capital. You do not have to pay the money back, which is why it's so powerful. And guys, grants can go anywhere from $1,000 all the way up to $5,000, $10,000, $50,000. Some are even $100,000 plus, right? And so it's worth your time to kind of get educated and research in this area for your money, especially if you're struggling and you don't have any other options, okay? Now, who can apply for grants? There's a big misconception that grants are only for nonprofits. That is false. Guys, any legal business, any legal entity, you can be a LLC, you could be a nonprofit, you could be an S Corp, you can be a C Corp. For some, you may even be able to be a sole proprietor. It's going to really depend on the grant and the requirements. But the biggest thing I want you to get right here is that grants are not just for nonprofits. A business grant is for a legal business entity. Got it, good guys. And pause. For all my newbies, I drop nuggets through the entire video to help you have success. And for all my vets, y'all already know. So nugget right here. I understand that the grant process can be overwhelming. Sometimes people are like, it takes too much time. I need you to change that mindset. If it takes you 5 hours to apply for one grant and that grant ends up resulting in $10,000 for your business, for your brand, for your vision, that was a great use of that 5 hours. And honestly, once you go through the process one time, you fill out the application, you understand the requirements, you learn how to research, you get your documents together. Usually after that very first time, it gets a lot easier. Guys, listen to me. Maybe the very first time it takes 5 hours. Then the next time you apply, it takes 3 hours. And then you get it down to a streamlined process where now you're able to apply for grants for 2 hours. Nugget, set a time. Many people don't have results because they don't work it like a business. Come on, somebody. Maybe you say, every Saturday morning, I am going to work on a grant and I'm going to apply for a grant every Saturday. That's 4 weeks, 4 grants a month because there's 4 Saturdays in a month. And literally, let's say you get 1 or 2 or 3. Game changer, okay? So the nugget right here is that don't be overwhelmed. Go through the process one time and then it will get easier and easier, and set a time to work on this. That way you can actually hold yourself accountable and get results. Amen. All right, so the different types of grants, guys, and there are a ton, but in its basic form, there's federal grants, there's state grants, there's corporate grants, there's grants for vets, there's grants for women, there's grants for minorities, there's economic development grants, there's grants from Venmo, corporate, FedEx, small business. So my point right here is that there is money out there for you, for your specific need, for your state, for your niche, for whatever it is. You just have to spend some time researching, getting kind of connected to the right type of grant that you need for your business that you actually qualify for. So there are a ton of different types of grants. To simplify, I want you to really think about it in 3 categories: federal, state, and private. And private are the ones that are like from companies like American Express or Amazon, where it's privately funded. Okay, those 3 categories. Now, documents required. And guys, no matter what, whether you're a nonprofit or you're a legal entity like a LLC or an S Corp, you need your EIN. For some websites like grant.gov, they'll have you register to even start applying for grants, and to register and get like an identifier number for that website to actually be able to apply, they require your EIN. employer identification number. I will put the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comments. You can get your EIN for free, okay? So you just do it through the IRS, and this is different than your EIN, is different than your DUNS number, is different than any kind of number that the different websites require you to register your business, but you do need to have that, okay? Now, a couple other of regular kind of an overview of some of the documents, and understand that different grants are going to have different requirements. So some of the basics, no matter what, you want to be a legal entity, you want to have your articles of incorporation, you, the business owner, are going to need some identification and verify that you are the one authorized to apply for the grants. You are the business owner, the CEO, the founder, or at least if it's like a partnership, maybe you're 60% or 70%, so you have the authority to actually apply for this. You're going to need a business bank account. Come on, they got to give you the actual money, right? And they may not ask for that in the initial application, but these are things that you're going to need eventually depending on the actual grant, okay? A lot of times you may need like a statement. Definitely, so a lot of them require a business plan. Some of them even require a budget. Some of them may require a mission. Some of them are going to be for startups. They don't expect you to have a whole lot, whereas other grants may require that you have something in place already and it's money to help you grow. So you may need something like a website or profit and loss, right? So just think about, you need to gather everything possible to actually apply for this, and then the different actual grants. So those are the basics, right? EIN, business bank account. I would say still have your DUNS. You're thinking about business fundability and business credibility. The same thing you need to qualify for lenders to give you money is a lot of the same things you need for a grant to give you money, but they're going to require extra things like your mission, your purpose, why you need it, maybe a personal statement, a plan for the funds. So they're going to require all of those basics, guys, and a little bit more of that, because there's going to be people applying. Come on, somebody, right? And so I will link, I have a video specifically on business fundability and business credibility. I'm going to link that video. It's going to be your action item to watch next, because that's going to help you with credit, with funding, and with grant money. Got it good? The other thing with grants for documentation is that, like I said, depending on the different grant, they're going to require something different, but definitely a lot of them actually want like a business plan. So WISE business plans, this is a tier 1 business credit account. I'll also link that in the description and in the pinned comments. That is now another resource that can actually help you qualify for money. And it's actually a tier 1 account, and it can actually help you with building up business credit. So if you're completely lost about a business plan, there are resources out there for you, okay? So those are some of the basic requirements. Now, nugget right here, you're going to have to do your research. Part of the grant process is making sure that you are legal, make sure that you have your business entity together and your documents, and then finding the right kind of grant. Are you going to do state? Are you going to do federal? Is it a grant for women? Is it a grant for small business? Is it a grant for economic development? What kind of grant is it? And then making sure you take the time to read through the requirements. If they tell you to apply for this grant, you need to be incorporated 6 months, provide, your articles of incorporation, provide your EIN, provide your driver's license, do a personal statement and a 2-minute video, then you need to do exactly those things. And nugget right here, guys, this is all part of the documents and required to apply for a grant. If they tell you as part of the grant process, you're going to need to send us a 2-minute video talking about your business and the plan for the money, then send them a 2-minute video. Don't send them a 5-minute video. Don't send them a 3-minute video. Send them a 2-minute video, because depending on the grant, there could be dozens, hundreds, thousands of people applying. So literally that right there, if they tell you to send a 2-minute video and you send a 3-minute one, they're not even looking at it. Okay, so be clear about the requirements and send them exactly what they need. Got it good, guys. All right, and so some of the resources, guys. So guys, write these down, and depending on when you watch this video, I am going to put in the description, it's going to be long, and then also in the pinned comments, some of these actual websites. So for example, you always hear about grants.gov, right? That is a huge database of information about grants. Your key, right, is going to be to research it and kind of funnel through all that information. nugget. A lot of these websites that I'm going to talk about have an option for you to subscribe and get their newsletter. I highly recommend that because they'll start to send you emails about upcoming grants, requirements, deadlines. And so if this is something you want to explore, then you want as much information as possible. Okay, so if they have the option to opt in for a free newsletter or to subscribe, go ahead and submit your information. That way you can get as much information as possible. So for example, for grants.gov, because that's one you always hear about, right? They have thousands and thousands and thousands of grants. So you're going to be narrowing it down by your state, by your zip code. Maybe you're a woman business, maybe you're a minority business, maybe you're in economic development, maybe you're a fintech company, maybe you're an author. Your key, so you're not getting too overwhelmed, is it going to be the research to kind of narrow it down, so that now when you're applying for something, you don't have 1,000 grants to apply for, you maybe have 50 grants to apply for. I hope that makes sense. Another thing, guys, with doing your research is that, sometimes there's even grants that are based on like your zip code, right? Like where your actual business is located. So that can be also an identifier to actually help you. Now, a new website that is kind of more recent, right, is called, I wrote down, Hello Alice. I love them. This is a great resource. So it looks like they are like a third-party website, and they have taken on the burden of helping people kind of narrow down what grants to apply for and what's relevant in your state and what's relevant in your niche, right? The type of industry that you're in. So this is a great way to kind of help you narrow down what you should be applying for. And nugget right here, grants have deadlines. All grants have deadlines. So depending on, even when you're watching this video, maybe you just missed some grants that were for the first quarter, but maybe there's some new grants coming up. Pay attention to the deadlines, because there's always going to be nugget for the app for grants, an application process, and then a deadline, and then you go to funding, and those three will always be clear. And if you miss a deadline, that's okay, then you apply for something else. A lot of these websites, there's a bunch of acronyms, so I wrote them down for you guys. Okay, so grants.gov, absolutely, like, this is a reputable website, right, that has a lot of information. It can just be overwhelming, but you can do it. Okay, also Hello Alice, I'll put the link to them in the description. The Small Business Development Center, so SBDC, this will be depending on your state. Small Business Development Center, so I can actually put a website there and you can drill down to your actual state. The MBDA, Minority Business Development Agency, just what it is. There's different agencies that have national and then have state agencies in sometimes in your local area that you can even go into, you can apply with. That even leads me to SCORE and NASE, National Association of the Self-Employed. These are all resources to hold your hand, to help you, to point you in the right direction. And guys, there's even the STEP, State Trade Expansion Program. And then guys, let me tell you, there's grants for Verizon, there's grants for Visa, there's grants for Amazon, there's grants for FedEx, there's Fearless Fund, right? I'm actually gonna put the links for all of those in the description, because those are some of the more well-known grants, and they kind of open and close and open and close. So if you missed the deadline for FedEx or for Amazon, you may be able to start preparing, and then whatever you apply for right now, have that information in place. And then when that grant opens up, sometimes you can even get on waiting list, y'all. When that grant opens up, you can go ahead and apply for there. Come on, somebody. Look, nugget right here. If you've gotten value from my videos and from my channel, I would love for you to subscribe, share, like, comment. Tell me if you learned one thing, if this was helpful for you. And guys, always the next step is to take action. All the information in the world is great, but information changes situations, but action gets you results. So don't get all this information, not execute on it, okay? And nugget right here, join our Patreon Wealth Warrior community, because I do monthly live Q&A and monthly live workshops, and I'm gonna be going over some of these websites and some of these resources in my Patreon community, especially at that master's level, where I'm gonna start doing some workshops on some of these websites. Amen? Guys, and for my nugget, it works if you work it. It works if you work it. You cannot be mad at the results that you do not have from the work you didn't do. I'm talking to somebody. Look, I love you with all my heart, and I want to see you have success. But the foundation of success, the foundation of wealth building, the foundation of freedom, the foundation of breaking generational cycles of poverty is discipline and accountability. It works if you work it. If you get all the information in the world and you do not take action, you do not invest in courses, coaches, programs, online courses, and you don't invest in the thing that you need to actually help you grow, you don't actually take action to execute, then you're not going to have results. So don't be mad at the results that you don't have from the activity that you didn't do. Guys, it's time to level up. Whenever you come across this video, that means it was meant for you. You are the person in your family that is the change agent, and that means that you need to lead by example and take action. So accountability and discipline. Amen.